We'll get started in a minute here. Just a reminder what you need to have for today. Your bands we'll be using. And then the only other thing other than bands is we're going to be using a bag weight. So a backpack or a cloth grocery bag, something like that. Or if you actually have weights, that would be fine too. But something like 10 to 20 pounds. If you want to stack some material in your bag, I've got mine here. We're going to be using that for a couple exercises. We're going to get started with our first warm-up exercise. Start just a slow knee crusher. So what that means is taking one leg back behind you and bringing it up and bringing your hands down to your knee. So when the leg goes back, hands stretch up towards the ceiling and then coming back to the knee as the knee comes up. But keep that up. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. So if I ask you a question, you can unmute yourselves, which I will be asking you a question here. And that is, what is the most time-consuming or inconvenient thing that you have ever had to redo? So go ahead and switch legs, other leg behind you, up. My answer is a couple years ago, we were set out on a road trip and we forgot something important and had to turn around and come home. We'd already gone a ways. So it added like 2 hours to our trip. So that was a little bit inconvenient. What about you, Catherine? Can you think of anything time consuming or inconvenient you've had to redo? There you go, knitting. Liz and Jill, what about you? What have you had to redo? Switch sides again. There you go. Okay. Start back at the beginning. All right, well, other side again. What about you, Kimmy? What have you had to redo in the past? Wow. All right, so we're going to change up next warm-up activity here. We're going to do a little back and leg warm-up. So you're going to take yourself into a little forward lunge, left leg forward, and then your right hand is going to go down inside that left foot, and you're going to twist up to the ceiling. So you're going to stand up after each one, take the left leg out, right leg to the floor inside of that shoe, and then twist that and look up at the ceiling. So this should give you a nice twisting warm up in the back there. Good. Becky, what have you had to redo that's been timely or inconvenient? That sounds very time consuming. All right, switch sides. So right leg in front as you go out into your lunge, and then the left hand touches the ground inside that shoe and rotate up. All right. Christy, what have you had to redo that's been time consuming or inconvenient? Yeah, hard drive crashes, no good. All right. What about you, Arwen? What have you had to redo that's been time consuming or? That's a few months of redoing right there. All right, so we're gonna do one last warm-up exercise. So I want everybody to take their lightest band and you're gonna put it around your thumbs like this. But then I want you to take 2 middle fingers and tuck inside, because we're going to be pulling apart. And if you don't put those fingers in, you're going to kind of have like a lot of stress on that thumb area. So if you just kind of take a couple fingers in there on each side. So we're going to be actually pulling apart behind your head. If you have that range of motion, if that feels like not a good strain on your shoulders, take it in front of your face. But if you can get behind your head, that's actually going to give you a nice stretch through the chest and also some good shoulder and arm warm up. All right, so we're taking behind the head. And here you want to use the lightest band that you have to be able to get as much range of motion as you can. And we're going to add just a little bit of a squat into that. So squat down and come up. So squat down and come up. Good. Patience or Beth, both of you, what have you had to redo that's been time consuming? Sounds very time consuming. Lorena, what about you? Have you had to redo anything that's been time consuming or inconvenient? You're the leaf raker. Okay, great answers, everyone. Let's get started with the workout. And we're going to begin. We have several 6 to 8 minute blocks today. They're all structured the same. So we have a theme of redoing or going back to square one today. And there's going to be one exercise that we do in each block and keep repeating. For the first one, it's going to be walking lunges. So whatever space you have, you're going to be going into a walking lunge. Even if you can only take a couple steps forward and backwards, just turn around when you run out of space and keep walking. And then the other 2 exercises we'll need to do this block are a side lunge. So you'll be stepping to the side and lunging, and a pulsing squat. So pulsing squat is just coming down into a squat, but then you never come out of it. You're just kind of pulsing down in that squat position. So we're going to start with walking lunges. And every time we come back to this walking lunge exercise, it will be 15 seconds shorter than the last time we did it. So we're going to start out with 60 seconds of walking lunges. In just a second here. We'll begin in 3, 2, and walking lunges. So we'll do this for 60 seconds. The next time we get to it, we do 45, and the last time it's 30. And in between, we'll do 30 seconds of the other exercises I mentioned. So when you're doing these walking lunges, just pretend like you're on train tracks. In other words, when you step one foot out in front of the other, it should be off to the side a little bit. You're not walking a tightrope, you're walking each leg on imaginary train tracks. Okay, keep it up. And challenge yourself to go down as far as you can as you step. So today is all about challenging your strength, how hard you can work, how much resistance you can have, and working slowly to really feel those muscles working to their utmost challenge. Okay, stop. Now we're going to go into a left side lunge. So you're going to step a little wider than hip width apart, and you're going to lunge down to your left side. So we're going to start that in 3, 2, and 1. Good. Nice and slow here. So a lot of these things that are timed today, sometimes on strength days we count and sometimes it's timed. But either way, we want to go high resistance and slow effort. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're back to the walking lunges. So we're starting that now in 45 seconds of walking lunges. But as I was saying, when we get to work where we're using bands and choosing which bands we use today, I want you to choose maybe a little heavier than you think. And if it's, say, a 30 or a 45-second time thing, it's okay if you actually don't get through that whole time frame. Because what I really want you to do is work until you can't do another rep. So if you've chosen something so heavy, you only get through about 20 seconds, that's going to be okay. You're still getting those strength gains working like that. And 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to head into that right-sided lunge now. Take that foot out to the right, and we're sitting over that right foot. Go. Good. So with the side lunge, it's important still to really stick your butt back far behind you. That helps get your knee in a good position for this side lunge. So really focus on getting that butt behind you as you come down towards the ground. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, last walking lunge. And we're going now. 30 seconds here for this walking lunge. Going as deep as you can, getting that knee as close to the ground as you can, comfortably, whatever range feels good to you this morning. Okay. After this, we're going to head into 30 seconds of pulsing squats. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So pulsing squats it is now. We're starting that in 3, 2, 1, and we are down. Sitting down as far as you can. Only 30 seconds, so really challenge yourself on the depth here. And we're just a tiny bounce, 1 inch up and down. Really gonna feel this in the thighs. Get that burn. Keep holding it. 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. All right. So that's block 1. So that's the timing. That's how we're restructuring all of our blocks today. The next one, you are going to take a light or next to lightest band. So it's going to be that same kind of warm-up grip that I talked about, but we're going to be doing a glute bridge as we pull the band apart in front of us. So just a reminder, you've got that hooked on your thumbs, but a couple fingers in to protect your thumb from the band pulling on your hand. And you're going to be on the mat doing a glute bridge. So your hips are going to be up as far as you can get them off the mat. So you're going to be kind of pulling into this reverse fly movement. So your arms are going to stay straight the whole time. And you want to get your hands down as close as you can to the floor. And this band is just kind of stretching out across your midsection there. So that's going to be our back to square one exercise that we keep returning to. The other 2 things we're going to be doing is that knee crushing exercise, except for we're going to go a little faster just on this one that we did for the warm up. We're going to go 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and the other one is a curtsy squat. So we'll be heading 1 foot behind us and tapping into a curtsy squat. All right, so everybody get their band and head to the mat. for the first 60 seconds of our exercise. So we're going to be doing that glute bridge pull apart with the band. Starting in 3, 2, and bridge up. So your hips stay up the whole 60 seconds. And you're pulling slowly apart with that band. Now remember what I said, if you chose a really heavy band and you feel like you're not able to get through that 60 seconds, that is not a failure. That just means you are working to your capacity this morning. And that is fine. So keep those hips up. Don't let them sag. Keep squeezing the glutes and pressing those hips up towards the ceiling as you're pulling out on that band. 20 seconds to go. Almost there. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So now, got 60 seconds of left knee up for those knee crushers. So you're going to be taking the left knee up and bringing your hands down around your knee like this. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Let's do it. 30 seconds here. A little bit faster. That left leg doesn't spend much time on the ground, so it's kind of like you're almost just pulsing and standing on that right leg, giving it some constant work to do. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. All right, we are back to the mat for those bridge and reverse flies. And we're gonna be on there for 45 seconds, starting in 3, 2, and hips up, pulling apart the band. Also, just pay attention to what your shoulders are doing here too. Make sure they're not creeping up to your ears. Sometimes that's easy to fall into that pattern when you're doing a movement like this. Just kind of consciously push them down away from your ears. All right. Getting close here. Have about 10 seconds to go. Whew. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Do those knee crushers on the right side now. So we're going to be bringing that right knee up and then hands down onto that right knee. We'll start those in 3, 2, and 1. Let's do it. So that right foot is light as a feather. It's just tapping behind you. Not stepping, it's just tapping. All right, just a few seconds left. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, last time for those bridge pull aparts. We're gonna be headed there. And starting in just a few seconds, we're gonna go 30 seconds here. Bridge up and pull apart, go. Don't let those hips fall down. You only have a few seconds left. Keep it working. Oh, feel that burn. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, last exercise of this block, 30 seconds, curtsy squat. So we are headed there. So you want to take one foot behind, and we're going to switch sides each time. So we're just alternating back and forth on those squats. And we're going in 3, 2, 1. So really challenge yourself to go as close to the ground as you can when you're putting that foot behind you. Good. Excellent. 10 more seconds. Three, two, and one. Okay. All right. Next block of work, the exercise that we'll keep returning to is push up to a plank jack. So let me give you a couple variations there so you can pick which one works best for you. So push-ups, I know some of you like to do them on a chair or on the wall. So regardless, you can still incorporate the plank jack. If you're on the wall, you would be doing a push-up like this and then out in with the legs to simulate that plank jack, out in. If you're on the mat, and a lot of you like to do your push-ups on your knees, and that's fine, to be going into a push-up and then out in with those legs. So every time you do a push-up, you're going out in. So it doesn't matter where you're doing it, just make sure you have that out in with your legs in between each push-up. And then the two exercises we're gonna get to after that, hollow hold with a reverse fly. So you're gonna pick a heavier band than you had for the exercise that we just did, where you were pulling both hands apart, because now you're just gonna be pulling one hand apart. You're gonna be getting into this hollow hold position where your shoulder blades and your legs are off the mat. And you're taking just one arm out to the side, like this, and trapping the band with your other hand in the middle of your chest. And last but not least is your body saw. You're gonna be in that plank position on your forearms and just rocking back and forth over the elbows. So let's get started with the plank, the push-up to plank jack. So get in your push-up position. That'll be 60 seconds there that we're going for this. And here again, if you want to really challenge yourself, do a push-up variation that's hard for you. And if you need to switch to a different variation partway through that 60 seconds, that's fine. Just work to whatever level challenges you. And we'll all get a good workout this morning. We're starting here in 3, 2, and 1. Push up to plank jack. So make these push-ups slower and harder. Rather you get through 10 slow and hard push-ups than 20 super fast and easy. That's what we're working about today, is that strength element. Okay, halfway through already. Ooh, anybody still sore from push-ups the other day? I am a little bit. I'm feeling it. All right, 10 seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So grab your band. Like I said, should be a little heavier than last time that you used for both hands to pull apart. So we're gonna do this time trapping the band with your right hand against the middle of your chest, and then taking the left arm out to the side like this. Of course, as you're in that lovely hollow hold position with your legs up and your chest up off of the mat. So we're starting here in 3, 2, and 1. Trap the band with your right hand, pulling out with your left. Keep that left arm pretty straight as you're pulling out and tapping the floor, if you can get that far. If you can't, that's okay too. Depends on what band you've chosen. All right, and 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we are back to push-ups and plank jacks. We are going to do 45 seconds of those push-ups and plank jacks, starting here in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Push-ups to plank jacks, 45 seconds. Halfway. All right, and 3, 2, and 1. Wow, not easy, right? So we're gonna head to the mat here for those other hollow hold reverse flies. We're just reversing what we did last time for 30 seconds. You're trapping that band against the middle of your chest with your left hand, and your right hand's gonna be the one pulling out to the side as you maintain that hollow hold position, okay? So we're starting here in 3, 2, and 1. Hollow hold, band out to the side. So feet are up in the air as much as you can. If it's bothering your low back, just bend your knees in a little bit towards your chest. Make sure to keep those shoulder blades off the mat as much as you can. A few more seconds to go here. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we've got 30 seconds of push-ups to plank jacks. The last round of those for today. And we're getting started here in 3, 2, and go. 30 seconds of push-ups to plank jacks. Ten seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. All right. Got our last exercise here, a body saw. So back to the mat on your forearms. In that forearm plank position, you're going to be rocking back and forth over your elbows, maintaining that really tight plank position with your body. So we're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Slowly back and forth, just a few inches forward and a few inches back. Just 30 seconds here, so we're almost 10 seconds from the end. Keep it up. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, another block in the books. Next block, so we're going to be doing our back to square one redo exercises, our squat to a band chest press. So rifle through the bands you have there. Really want you to choose something challenging because the most you'll ever do on one side is 30 seconds. So, you know, I don't care if you use your heaviest and can only get through 6, but really want you to, this exercise is going to be a squat to chest press. So you're holding that band against your chest with one hand, pressing straight out with the other. If your heaviest band isn't heavy enough for you, add another band to it. That'll be fine too. You really want to challenge yourself with this one. And then for the other 2 exercises, we're going to be headed into a triangle wall press. So you have your hands, index fingers, thumbs together, middle of your chest. That's the direction you come out to the wall. That's the level you want to be at. And then you're going to take one hand off and just press like that into the wall. So that position is really going to work your triceps, having that triangle position with your hand. And last exercise is a straight arm pull apart chest press. So that will be just strictly pulling apart the band and pressing out like this. And that'll be, again, really want to challenge yourself with how heavy of a band you use there. So let's get started. Pick your heavy band for that single arm chest press. It's going to be a squat to a chest press. 60 seconds of that. We'll switch halfway through on sides. Everybody ready here? And we'll get started here in 3, 2, and pick a side to start on squat and chest press. Okay. All right, everyone is looking great. All right, so we're going to switch sides here in 3, 2, and other side for the chest press. Okay. Excellent chest pressers out there. Keep it up. 15 seconds to go. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're into the land of triangles now. So we're going to take our hands, thumbs and forefingers together. Middle of the chest is the level you want to be at on the wall. So you're going to put both hands on the wall, but take away your right hand so you can do just left-handed tricep presses. And we're starting here in 3, 2, and 1. Stand far enough from the wall so that it's a real challenge for you, because you only have to do this for 30 seconds. So you really want to be struggling to get to the end of that 30 seconds. If you keep that elbow tucked in close to your side, you're really going to feel it in your triceps. Good. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Whew. We're back to the chest press, squat to chest press. So now it'll be 45 seconds, still split evenly between your two sides. So make sure if you didn't feel challenged enough last time, felt like you could have really kept going at the end of 60 seconds, pick a heavier band. Okay, so we are going in 3, 2, and 1. Squat and chest press. All right. Those of you doing stretch and roll on Sunday, how happy are you that we're going to be switch sides? We're going to be doing some work on the chest. Get our chest to loosen up after all this chest work this week. Whew. 10 seconds to go. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now let's give that right side a chance for those triangle push-ups on the wall. So get your position on the wall. Find your triangle. Take that left hand away, and we're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Step far enough away from the wall, but it is a challenge to get through these here. You got halfway. All right, looking good. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. All right, last time squatting to chest pressing with that band. All right, so we're gonna go for 30 seconds, 15 on each side. Everybody ready? And let's go. Squat and chest press. Good. Switch sides. Okay. And we are done in 3, 2, and 1. Challenge yourself now again with this band for the next exercise, just 30 seconds, but I want you to pull apart as much as you can, put your hands apart as much as you can, and you're gonna maintain that distance between your hands as you go out and in. And we're starting that here in 3, 2, and 1. Really stick your chest out too. It's gonna help you feel this even in the back. Especially in those shoulders. Wow. Feeling that. 10 seconds to go. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Whew. All right, so next block, we're gonna be making good use of that weight that you have, whether you are using dumbbells or a bag or a box or a backpack, whatever you have. Let me show you what we're getting into here. So our back to square one exercise that we're gonna do 3 times is an upright row. So you're going to be taking the weight up like this, elbows about the level of your shoulders, and coming back down. Think of like a bicycle pump, right? The hand pumps where you have to pump up and down. That's a similar kind of motion here. You want to keep your chest out and proud as you come up and down with that upright row. Second is going to be a bicep curl. So your weight might be a little heavy for that, but like I said, the goal is not to get through all the time here. It's to get through as many reps as you can before you can't do any more. So you're going to be taking that weight into a bicep curl. And then the third and last is a squat to an overhead press. So you're holding that weight at your chest. You're going to be squatting down with it and then pressing it over your head. All right, so let's get started with 60 seconds of upright rowing. Grab a drink if you need one. And we'll get started in a couple seconds here. Okay, so everybody has their weight, looks good. All right, and we're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Pull up those weights. All right. Here again, even though the weight's coming up, keep your shoulders down. So keep your shoulders from coming up to your ears. Really kind of consciously press those down as you're pulling the weight up. Halfway through. Oh, feeling the burn, huh? I am feeling it. Everyone's doing great. 15 seconds to go. And we're done in 3, 2, and 1. Wow, okay. Now we're getting into some bicep curls on that left side. So grab the weight that you'd like to use for that. And we'll be 30 seconds on this left side. And we're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Try to get to at least 5 if you have a really heavy weight. Halfway through. Almost there. Keep it up. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay. We're going to do those upright rows again. 45 seconds this time. Getting a good arm burnout now. We're going to start in 3, 2, and upright row. So if you happen to have just one dumbbell at your disposal, what you can do is kind of like cup it around either end and pull up like this. That might help you instead of having to switch sides. Okay, look at you. Only 10 seconds from the end. Keep it up. Keep moving. Doing great. And 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay. So now we're into those bicep curls on the right side. So grab the weight you're going to use for that. And we're starting in 3, 2, and 30 seconds for the right side. Slow and easy. Halfway. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, great. All right, so we are going to do a squat and overhead press. If you've got the range of motion, I really want you to try to end with that weight directly over your head. If your shoulders aren't allowing for that, just as close to that as you can get. It's okay if it has to be in front of your body, but you're going to grab the weight and keep it keep it at your chest. And we're going to start squatting and overhead pressing in 3, 2, and squat and press. Last 30 seconds here of this exercise on this block. One more block to go after this. Keep your core really tight as you're doing this movement. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. All right. So, one block left. We're going to get some core. This block is mostly all core work. So let me show you what we're getting into. Plank doesn't really need much of a description. Pick your poison. That's going to be our back to square one exercise that you keep returning to. So if you want to plank with your forearms on a chair or on the mat, that's fine. But it is 60 seconds of planking and 45 and 30. So it's kind of a lot of planking. So just challenge yourself in the beginning of the time frame to do the hardest version that you can. And then if you need to switch to an easier version, that's fine. But give yourself a challenge to start out with there. So the first exercise is going to be a crunch where you're touching the left ankle. So you'll be reaching and touching like that. And the other exercise is going to be, you'll have an ankle band, a band around your ankles, and you'll be reaching up like this as a crunch to touch. Quick lesson on form here. So when you're doing that crunch and you're reaching to touch your ankle, there's 2 ways you can do that, right? You can just reach with your arm and touch and not really use your core, or you can keep your arms straight and rotate through the torso, right? I don't know if you can see the difference there, but one is just simply like reaching to touch, and the other one is really twisting your torso, involving that torso in the movement. So think about that when we're getting to that part where you're crunching and touching your ankle. But let's get started here with a 60-second plank. We are doing this. Okay, so onto your chair or your mat, wherever you are picking to do your plank this morning. And we're starting in 3, 2, and plank away. So focus on keeping your butt down, pushing it towards the ground, whether you're on the chair or the mat, equally as important. You're not just holding yourself up with your arms here. There's a lot of core engagement. So really tensing that core and pulling that belly button into the spine. We're halfway through already. All right, keep it up. Final 15 seconds. All right, almost there. And 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, so we are going to go into that ankle touching crunch next. So let's start on our backs. Right leg is out, elevated, left leg is bent. And you're going to take that right arm and touch the inner shoe of the left shoe. Remember what I said? Your torso is really involved in that twist. It's not a just reaching with your arm. It's twisting your whole torso to get into that position. And we're going for that in 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds here. Right hand to left shoe. And also, if anybody gets any low back discomfort with this, just put that right leg on the ground. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're back to plank land. So we're going to be in plank position for 45 seconds this time. And we're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Plank away. So we're going to do that twist and crunch on the other side next after this. And when you do that movement, you shouldn't be able to see your shoes. That's just another form tip I have for you there. Because if your gaze is straight above your head on the ceiling, you won't be able to see your shoes, and that'll mean your neck is in a safe position. So let's try to think about that. Oh, we've only got about 10 seconds left here. Keep holding that plank. You're doing great. And 3, 2, and 1. Wow. Only one more plank after this. We are nearing the end, everyone. So now we're going to be doing the right side for that foot reach, ankle reach. So your left leg is going to be out, floating, and your right leg is going to be bent on towards your chest. And you're going to be crunching and reaching with that left hand to the right ankle. And we're starting in 3, 2, and 1. Remember what I said about not really being able to see your shoes? That's because your eyes are in the right place, straight above your head. Really involving your torso, twist into that crunch. And we're done in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Wow, we're into the last minute here. So let's keep moving and work into that 30-second plank in 3, 2, and go. All right. Everybody getting those abs of steel today. I see you. I see you in your planking. Come on, only a few seconds left to hold this. You've got it. You've got it. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now grab a medium to heavy band for the last exercise of our workout today. You'll be taking that band on your ankles. So once you get that band around your ankles, it's going to be on your back, legs up, and then you're pulling your feet apart from each other to really get as much resistance as you can on that band. And then you're just gonna crunch up with straight arms to touch that band. Everybody set? Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds here. Last 30 seconds of the workout. Make it good. Almost there. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. Great job, everyone. Great job. We're going to stay on the mat for the first couple stretches here. So we're going to work right into those abdominal muscles that we just worked so hard, everyone. You did. And get into a little bit of a cobra position. This works with your forearms on a chair as well. If you don't want to have your hands on the mat, really even pushing your head back a little bit to get a stretch through the front of your torso. Okay. Hold that for a few seconds. So the first stretch and roll class, for those of you who signed up, is coming up on Sunday, 10 o'clock. And the next Fitcamp will be Monday. A little bit more cardio focused on Monday, so pace will be a little bit quicker than today. And everyone, I'm taking you on vacation with me. I'm leaving tomorrow morning for New Jersey. Won't come back till Monday. So whether you're doing stretch and roll or Fitcamp on Monday, you'll be seeing a little different background than today. All right, so now we're going to go into a stretch that is more like a child's pose here. So you're going to be having your knees spread apart, sinking your butt in towards your heels, but climb those hands in front of you and keep climbing forward with your fingertips until you're really pulling through that shoulder joint, because I really want you to stretch out those arms and shoulders from the work that we did today. We did a lot of arm and shoulder exercises. Great. All right, we got one more stretch I want to take you through before we're done. And this one actually involves your heaviest band. And we're not going to do an exercise or anything, so it just needs to be a band that doesn't have much give. So your heaviest band. So what we're going to do is pull over like this and then lean over. So you're just holding it loosely here. So one arm is straight and you're leaning like this and just pulling a little bit. That arm that's above your head, you're pulling it with the band down. So what this does, having that band, and as you lean, I know you can feel it in through the shoulder and through the lats, through the side there. That's a really nice stretch given what we've done today. Switch sides. I know a few of you have hopped on WhatsApp and chatted about how you feel, your workouts and everything. So that's kind of been fun. If you want to check it out, most of you are added on there, except for the ones of you that don't have WhatsApp. And I'll send that link for the download again in the email today, if you're interested. Again, totally optional. Just thought I'd put another way out there for us to connect. Other side again. All right, one more time on the other side. Let's get that stretch. Really lean into that stretch. Good. All right. Thank you, everyone. Had a great Thursday with you. Hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you on either Sunday or Monday.